So, hey, what's up?
Not much. What's up with you?
No, it's been a week.
How so? Please tell me.
It's been a week. So, first and foremost, I feel like we need to apologize to our listeners for last week's episode.
Yes.
Because
we were both not in the right state of mind.
We were both in the completely, shit state of mind. I was sick. I had a respiratory infection, plus my sinuses were all forms of fuck you.
And my brain was just not pumping serotonin.
Yeah, the depression was just hitting us both hardcore
really
that day. And my sinuses were like, nope. And I was on so much medication that I don't even think that it was probably the required amount. I think it was probably a little bit more than the required amount because I am a huge freaking baby.
Yeah.
When it comes to being sick. So,
usually when I'm sick, I just want nobody to bother me. I want to sleep for days on end.
Yeah.
So I feel that. I feel like that's literally what you wanted as well.
I literally just wanted to lay in bed and scroll through TikTok. That's all I wanted to do. But I was like, nope, I have a job to do. And that job is to record for our very tiny following. So thank you for those who are sticking with us.
Yes, thank you all.
Yes. So, but we apologize for the dumpster fire that was last week's episode.
Yes.
And
but I heard that last week's episode kind of brought on a little bad
some bad juju.
Yeah.
So Robert the doll, I feel like I need to apologize to him, and I do need to apologize to him because I did a shit job covering his story. And I'm pretty sure he took it out on me because we recorded on that Sunday, and then Monday came around, and on the way home, it was me and Emma, so coming home from work, I was on 50, and there was some traffic, and so we were stopped, and this stupid-ass pickup truck, going 50 miles an hour, wasn't paying attention to the fact that traffic was stopped.
Oh, no.
Slammed into the back of a Mustang, and then that Mustang slammed into the back of me.
No.
This is my third fucking accident in a year. The first one being May 16th of last year. And then this one happened on this is May 20th, so that was my brother's birthday. So it happened on my brother's birthday, and it just so happened to be my half birthday.
Oh, gosh.
Because my brother and I are 2.5 years apart to the day. So I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
But I mean, your car is a trooper.
It is
compared to the damage on the other cars that I saw.
The Kia Soul, I'm going to say this right now, and I know we're not being, I'm just FYI throwing it out there. We are not sponsored. And I know they're probably not good enough to be sponsored yet. So, but if anybody wants to sponsor us, please do. But anyway, no, I mean, I have a 2016 Kia Soul, and that thing took a beating.
Yeah.
And it's still good. That thing is definitely proved its worth in safety. But there are some few things, because we went to a dealership yesterday to get some numbers about trade-in, and at the end of the day, there was some information that I found out that I am not happy with, that I can't really divulge in a podcast for legal reasons, because I'm currently within 3 lawsuits now with insurance companies. So I can't really go into too much detail. Yeah. But let's just say that there was information that I found out that I was not extremely happy with. And therefore I had to email my lawyer. Wow. And I am so pissed. But so now my car is in the shop again. And I won't get it back until sometime this week or next week. So yeah, I'm pissed. So, but Robert, I am so sorry.
Yes, Robert.
I am so sorry. I did not do your story justice. Please forgive me. Because, I'm just glad. You know what I'm happy about, though?
What? What's that?
I'm glad that the Mustang took the brunt of it.
Yeah.
Everybody was okay. I need to do a disclaimer. Everybody was okay. Okay. I'm in pain right now. I hurt because I was still dealing with injuries from the first accident and then the second accident in March. So, I mean, I'm still hurting. So this just,
Fuel
threw
to
me
the
back.
fire.
It just added fuel to the fire and just put me back to square one, basically. But everybody else, like, an ambulance came to the scene to check out Emma to make sure that she was okay. Kyle picked us up at the scene of the accident because my car wasn't drivable after that.
Dang.
And so I had to be towed. So Kyle
Yeah.
came and picked us up and took me to the hospital just to get x-rays and everything. And I don't know about the other two, but all I know is that, oh my God, I went mama bear hardcore. Because one of the guys came up, like the guy that was driving the truck came up to my car because he knew that I guess he saw that I had Emma in the car.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my God, are you okay, sweetie? I'm like, get the fuck away from my car. Get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away. I'm so pissed.
I understand. Like, I feel like that is the proper response, especially if you have a child in your car. Like, I understand that the other person was trying to be like, hey, I'm sorry. But also at the same time, like, learn to fucking drive.
Yeah.
Get off your phone. If you see traffic at a stop, brakes.
Yeah.
All cars should be equipped with them at this day and age.
Apparently he said that, I guess he told the police that he, I guess, just looked down briefly to get something and he didn't realize traffic was stopped. I'm like, bullshit, you were on your phone.
Yeah.
So.
That is literally, I can drive. I drive up and down Sand Lake Road.
Yeah.
Every single day for work. And every single person is on their phone and not paying attention to the road. And it just irks me so much.
I know.
Because it's just like, this is what causes accidents.
Yeah.
Like, just get off your phone, drive. You can answer your phone when you get to the place you need to be.
You're the reason why we can't have nice things.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that was my week. Did we even introduce each other?
No, we didn't. Hi, my name is Stephanie.
And I'm Erica, and you're listening to
Cheers from the Grave.
Cheers from the Grave. Oh, God. We're just going to keep that because whatever, we're human, right?
Yes, we are human and we err.
And we err. So how was you? How are you? How was your week?
My week has been a challenge.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I saw that you were sleeping a lot.
Oh my gosh.
You had all the posts about naps.
I feel like during the week I couldn't sleep much at all, but yesterday I was researching more of our information for our episodes, and I fell asleep in the middle of it, and then I woke up this morning at 8:45, and I was like, I was just reading something, and it was 6:30 p.m. So I slept, and it was well needed because I've been averaging about 2 or 3 hours a night.
Oh, shit.
And so I've not been on my game.
Yeah.
But today I definitely needed those 2.5 cups of coffee.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Because you messaged me this morning, you're like, I can barely keep my eyes awake. I'm like, we can reschedule if you really need to.
I was like, no, we're going to do this.
We're going to do this.
Put some coffee on.
Yeah,
We got this.
I'll have coffee waiting for you when you get here.
Yeah, I injured my knee about 2 days ago.
Oof.
Just for, just out of fun. Injured my knee, it popped. And then, so it's been a struggle for that. But other than that, it's nothing compared to a car accident.
Oh, my God.
So that is all you.
Oh, God. It sucked so bad. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's the worst. And all of which were rear ends. That's the thing. None of which were my fault. Apparently, I just have this huge sign on my car that says, please, hit me. Hit my ass.
I think the last accident I got in, the one before the last accident, somebody completely pulled out in front of me and slammed on their brakes. And so I hit them. I had no reaction time. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me?
They didn't find you at fault for that, right? Because if
they found me at fault because welcome to Florida.
Well, no, Florida's a no-fault state,
It is a no-fault state, but still the police officer was like, nah, because you hit them. It's your fault.
It's like, they cut my reaction
They literally
time.
Cut me off. There was nobody else on the road.
Yeah.
They turned into my lane, slammed on the brakes, and I hit them.
You know that most likely was an insurance scam thing then? Yeah. Most likely, because some people do that just to get, insurance money and shit.
And that's why I really want to get a dash cam. Just so I can be like, oh.
Yo, after all this, I want a dash cam, too. I've been looking at them. Both, front and rear ones.
Yeah.
So maybe we should talk about ghosts.
Maybe we should instead of car
Nobody
accidents.
wants to sit here and, listen to our lives. I mean, I know that some people are like, oh, my God, how are they? Yeah, I pissed off Robert the doll, and I got into an accident. That's what happened. Mm-hmm. So, but let's talk about ghosts.
Yes, let's talk about ghosts. What do you have for us?
So, let's. I love St. Augustine, and so I know that we both wanted
St.
to.
Augustine is the most beautiful place. Oh, I love it
Oh
there.
my gosh! So I know that we were talking. We wanted to do the St. Augustine theme. Are you okay? You almost dropped your phone
Yes, no, I almost dropped my phone.
there? Oh, okay. Well, at least it's carpet and not like. Ugh.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about our...
Yeah, let's talk about St. Augustine. I picked because we both love St. Augustine
Yes.
so much. It is a absolutely beautiful, beautiful town, city.
It is. If I could afford to live there, I would.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
But one of the ones that one of the buildings that is there that I love and that I wanted to cover was Old St. John's Jail.
Oh.
Yeah. So let's talk about the jail.
Nothing better than a jail story.
Right? Jail stories are terrifying. And when I was researching this, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
To side note, I went on a haunted trolley ride that they have there. And it was by the Ghosts and Gravestones. They're actually like one of the most popular haunted trolley rides.
Okay.
That is in St. Augustine.
Yeah, I heard they do lots of different tours throughout St. Augustine as well.
They do, and actually it's one of the good ones. Like my friend Mandy and Leanne and we all went one day. I took them on their birthday because their birthdays fell like within a couple days of each other.
Nice.
So as a birthday gift, we all went to St. Augustine, and I treated them to a haunted tour on that. So it was really, really fun. But one of the things that we did was we went to Old St. John's Jail. Ooh. Yeah. Now we were only able to see a portion of the jail, which is like the main, like the death row block, and then the main block that was the second floor up. We didn't get a chance to see the actual like full jail because it's only open during the full jail is open during the day for regular stuff. So I need to go back so I can see the actual jail.
We should do that.
We will. It is going to happen. So Old St. John's Jail. Let's start with a little bit of history, because history is awesome.
Yes.
So the building was designed and constructed by the name of P.J. Pauley. The jail, it's a jail building and manufacturing company of St. Louis, Missouri, and was built in 1891. It was built in a Romanesque revival style, so they used like round, arched, pre-Gothic medieval style that began in the United States in the mid-1840s, and it became so popular that most of the buildings in that area kind of adopted that look. So that's why, St. Augustine has that very unique look to it. Mm-hmm. The construction was actually financed by Henry Flagler, who struck a deal with the county for $10,000 because the former jail building stood on the land that Flagler needed for the construction of his Ponce de Leon Hotel.
Okay.
So he was very particular, Henry, was very particular about making sure that the prison fit in with the rest of the scenery of St. Augustine, because he didn't want his guests to look out of the hotel and see a prison.
Yeah.
Because it's like, hey, I'm going to go...
Here, spend money at this hotel, but also look at our prisoners.
Yeah, look at our prisoners. See, and over here to your left, you can see our prisoners.
These are our Spanish War prisoners.
Yeah. So he wanted the jail to look like it fit in with the scenery. And so the old jail, it served as St. Johns County Jail until 1953. After which the jail facilities were then moved to a new, more modern building, and then the vacant old jail the vacant old jail building was sold to an entrepreneur named Henry Slim McDaniel, who began operating the remarkably well-preserved building as a roadside tourist attraction. So the jail was placed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1987.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of blurb, but to get more into it. So when it was originally built, it was built to house up to 72 male prisoners and 12 women. The two-story northern wing of the jail consisted of a general population and maximum security area, and a women's section and a lower-level kitchen. 6 women would share a cell. They were responsible for cooking the food for the prisoners as well as cleaning. So they were basically prison maids.
I was about to say this, almost, because around that time, it was still slavery. Correct? In St. Augustine around that time?
Roughly, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I feel like maybe that's kind of...
Well, I mean, even today, prisoners are basically used as slaves.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, hey, you're in jail, so let's go ahead and make
We're
you do
going to
stuff.
utilize you to do everything, but
Yeah, exactly.
also... Yeah.
So sometimes the women that were jailed didn't even commit any crimes. They were just someone of low reputation. So sometimes, like, some women were like, oh, yeah, hey, you're low reputation because, oh my God, you showed your ankles. Go to jail.
Not the
Like,
ankles.
I don't think it was really showing your ankles. I'm going above and beyond on that one. But, yeah, even women of low reputation could just be tossed in.
Wow.
Yeah. The men's section, there would be 4 beds to a cell, but they would always shove more than 4 people into that cell. So the maximum security housed the most dangerous prisoners at the jail, and that was the death row. And there was a death row sentenced area for those condemned to die. And they made sure that when they built that, the death row, that all the windows would face the gallows.
Wow.
So every day, when you wake up,
this is what your fate is.
you're looking at your fate right outside your window. So a total of 8 men were hung at the gallows on the jail compound during its history. I'll get into that more later. But overall, the conditions at the jail for those serving varying sentences were quite poor by modern standards, and prisoners were typically used as free farm laborers during the day, and everybody had to work. And if for some reason you weren't able to work out in the fields, then you had to work out in the garden in front. Honestly, if it was me, I'd be like, can I work in the garden?
Garden, please.
Yeah, I would rather. But the thing is, there was also no plumbing. So baths were infrequent, and toilet facilities consisted of 1 bucket per cell.
Ew.
Yeah. Gross. So even though plumbing was installed by 1914, women still went without plumbing until the jail closed in, I want to say, like 1953.
Yeah. Ew.
It's like,
yeah, can I need to use the bucket?
oh my God. And just like the 6 people in that jail cell using the bucket. And
Guys,
they had
please
to
don't
empty
look
it
at
out
me
the
while
windows.
I'm using the bucket.
They literally had to like dump the bucket out the windows. And the thing is, these windows, there was no glass or covering.
Yeah, it was just purely an opening.
Just bars.
No.
That's it. Their diet was extremely poor too. And typically they were supplemented by animals that the prisoners caught maybe while working in the fields. So
here's one of our field mice. Enjoy, all 6 of you women.
I know, right? You take the tail, you take an eye.
Claw, thank you.
Oh my God. Those poor mice. I love mice. Mice, I want to be friends with the mice. So let's see here. The 2-story southern wing of the jail consisted of an office for the sheriff and living quarters for his deputies. However, it was believed that for many years the sheriffs and their families did live on the property, but during the restoration project done a few years ago, it was actually discovered that the sheriffs lived off-site.
Okay.
So I believe, I haven't done the day tour since, so I'm not entirely too sure if they updated it, because I know that when I was watching Ghost Hunters on this episode, on this particular
building
topic, the jail had a section where it was like, oh, and this is where the sheriff lived. So I'm not sure if they updated it since, but who knows? As I was saying, the conditions of the structure were relatively harsh. One of the first issues was that the only water source in the jail was for drinking. And so because of that, baths were infrequent. And again, as we said, there was no plumbing, so baths were infrequent. Toilet facilities consisted of 1 bucket per cell, that we said. And the weather conditions on the external area of the structure were often much the same as the inside. So if it was hot outside, it was even hotter on the inside, because that freaking jail turned into an oven.
Well, it's just strictly bricks. I mean, literally it did turn into a brick oven. It literally
turned into an oven. And the same occurred during the winter months. And even though we do live in Florida, I mean, we don't have that crazy northern wind chill or whatever.
But also you have to take into the fact that this was the 1800s onto the 1950s where there wasn't a lot of pollution going on.
Exactly.
So
the
winters were probably more wintry than we experience nowadays.
Most likely, yeah. And so when it was cold,
it was cold.
It was cold. So when it was hot, it was hot. When it was cold, it was cold. Most of the beds were composed of Spanish moss that grew and still grows rapidly in the Florida area. The moss was used to fill mattresses, but you know those little tiny red bugs?
Yep, I was about to say they live in the moss.
Yep. So those and other pests that are native to the moss would infect the beds.
Ugh.
So they would literally sleep not in, but like on mattresses filled with this moss and these little tiny little red bugs just crawling all over you, biting you.
No,
Gross.
thank you. No,
Yeah.
thank you.
So, and generally, like, that's really the only thing that they had. To receive a blanket, it was practically unheard of. And even a pillow was even more unheard of. So if you had a blanket or a pillow, you were like living the dream.
I don't think I would want a pillow, though, if it was still filled with Spanish moss and those little bugs.
But desperate times, man. Desperate times come
True.
with desperate measures. And in that type of a situation, I think it's one of those, like, you take what you get if you're lucky. So because of, everything in the harsh conditions, a lot of people did die because of sickness. It was very common, especially dysentery.
I believe that.
You died of dysentery. Oh my goodness, that was such a fun game.
Oh, I love the Oregon Trail.
I
Sorry,
played that.
Way off topic now.
I don't care. I played that game when I was a kid in middle school, like even elementary school, middle school. I'm showing my age here because I'm 36 years old and I'm turning 37 in November. I'm an old hag.
No, you're fine.
But yeah, no, that was, oh my gosh. And everybody.
They have it as a board game now.
Do they really?
Yeah, they do.
Oh my God. I would die of dysentery every time. Every time. I don't think I ever.
You've died of dysentery.
I've never survived.
You have cholera.
Yay. You have to eat one of your ox.
No.
Shit. So back on topic. But yeah, so the disease most likely was dysentery because of just the poor conditions. So, out of the 8 prisoners that were hanged, so there were a total of 8 prisoners that were hanged during this time. Only 2 were accused of murder.
Only 2?
Only 2.
Were on death row, accused of murder.
Now, I tried very hard to find out what the other 6 did, but I couldn't really find any information on that. So I probably didn't look hard enough. And there's probably people that are screaming into their phone. There are probably people like right now in their cars like, there were 6 people that did this. Why aren't you covering that? Probably. But anyway.
Witchcraft.
Right. But there were only 2 that were accused of murder. The first one was Sim Jackson. He was hanged in 1908 after murdering his wife with a straight razor, nearly beheading her with a straight razor in 1906.
Sweeney Todd vibes.
Right. And then another gentleman named Charlie Powell. He was hanged in 1910, and he was accused of killing a man for spreading rumors about his wife.
Well, okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I understand that. Like, I would also probably do that if somebody was spreading rumors.
Right?
Depending on the
Kyle.
rumors.
If someone was spreading rumors about me, would you kill them?
Violently.
He said violently.
Yay.
See?
I mean, no.
No, don't do that. Please don't. True love right there. So people would flock to the jail on execution days because it was like, oh my God, it's execution day. Yay!
Yeah.
Bring out your Sunday best. We're gonna on an execution. Execution day. Oh my God, that was so not right and so disrespectful. Wow. So
this is why Robert the Doll.
this is probably why Robert the Doll made me get into an accident on Monday. I hate that. I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear God, save me. But yeah, people would flock to the jail on execution days. It was such a show that people would climb telephone poles just to get a good view.
Wow.
The crowds did get so insane, though, that the county just had to stop announcing when the exact time of the hangings occurred. They would basically just be like, hey, so we're going to have a hanging, but it's going to be in between this time frame. So that way, like, not everybody is there at once. So let's get on to the actual ghosts.
Yes.
You know, what we're actually talking about here. So when I was there, I personally didn't, I mean, even though there was a lot of death and horribleness, maybe it was just because of the type of tour it was, because there was a reenactor that was there and he was kind of making light of everything. So probably because of that, if the feeling of it wasn't very oppressed, you know, sometimes when you get into that situation, it's like very an oppressed feeling.
Yeah.
I didn't really get that vibe. But at the same time, because of the situation that was at hand, I guess my brain was like, oh, let's just focus on this. But anyway, moving on. One of the most famous ghosts that still reside the old jail today goes by the name of Sheriff Joe Perry. In 1889, Sheriff Joe Perry was sworn in as a sheriff in St. Johns County, Florida, and he held the office for 26 years, and he was the longest-serving sheriff in Florida history.
Wow.
Yeah, so he stood at about 6'6", 300 pounds, and he was big enough to bring on the baddest of the bad. He would literally just go up even to like Louisiana, Georgia, and hunt these people down and drag them back to Florida and be like, yeah. So he is claimed to be roaming the halls of the prison. There's actually an animatronic version of him
At the prison?
at the prison, standing when you first walk into the jail cell, like the main section. There's like 2 floors of the cells, and on this second floor, there's like a little bit of a landing with like balcony landing thing, and he's standing right there. It's the creepiest thing. I don't like it. It's a nope. It's a nope. To where one of the workers, this was on, I was watching Ghost Hunters last night about this. One of the workers, when she was doing her pre-morning check, diagnostics on the animatronic, make sure everything was running smoothly, she said that when there was a pause in his speech, and in that pause, she heard a, "Good morning, Sarah." That was basically his voice.
Ugh.
I was just like,
Run away. Run away,
like,
Sarah. Get out of
there. Are you going to throw me in jail too?
That's creepy that he knew her name.
I mean, if it's a spirit, I mean, generally, I'm pretty sure that spirits get to know, if it's a museum or something like that, I'm pretty sure that the spirits would get to know.
I know, but I think in my head,
there.
I constantly think that the spirits around that time are stuck in that time and don't really
know what's going on.
know what's going on or acknowledge like other people. They're just throughout living their life like they would back in that time. That's why in my head I'm like, oh my God.
That's pretty like residual though. Like a lot of that's like residual hauntings where
True.
people are just kind of stuck. That's why they say like if you see a spirit walking into a wall, if you look at the plans for the original building, sometimes there may have been a door there. So they're just following the same path that they're used to.
Well, that, and also sometimes if it was to be and you looked at the plans and there wasn't a door there, you got to look at the history of the land as well. Maybe there was a different building.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
There's that too, yeah. So there was also a sweet smell that seemed to consistently hang in the air of the haunted prison. It reflected that of molasses, because English is awesome. It reflects that of molasses. Regardless of the cleaning efforts, the smell still seems to be related to the hauntings that occur in the structure. There's also a smell of urine that would also creep up sometimes.
But I can believe that because everybody used a bucket
Exactly.
or they just peed where they peed.
Well, the thing is that urine does have a tendency to calcify.
Yeah.
And
Linger.
because of how many years that place was open and utilized as a prison, and the fact that they had no plumbing and people were just kind of pissing wherever, it's not a surprise that you would still smell the lingering effects of that.
Especially since stone does tend to absorb the liquids around it, so it's
and then calcify
calcified and it's just there.
It's just going to be there forever and ever. Many individuals also that reside in the neighborhood of the jail, they would sometimes hear the barking of dogs on a regular basis. And it's believed that these are the spiritual hounds of Sheriff Perry.
Okay.
So apparently his ghost dogs are roaming around. Certain tunes have also been heard in the jail, almost as if someone is slightly humming them. One of the songs distinctively reflects that of Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. Just imagine just singing.
Low, sweet chariot. Sorry.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. You should go on tour.
No, thank you.
But you have a goal. You have a goal.
I do have a goal, but I'm not going on tour for singing.
So, so many areas of the old jail, you can hear footsteps with the sound of distinct chains moving in motion with the steps. It is believed that these are the soul of the spirits that are still held captive even after death. Also, the sounds of shouts and wails can sometimes be heard, only to discover that there's no actual physical person present to make those sounds. There has also been reporting of being grabbed or touched. There was actually a person who was grabbed, and it turned into a struggle. And as he felt the spirit attempt to push him down the stairs, there was actually an imprint, like you could see the impression of a hand in his chest as he was struggling to get away.
Oof.
Yeah. Some people think that may have been one of the death row inmates, or maybe even Sheriff himself. Who knows? Then there was another one. Now, this one kind of got me, and I couldn't get much more information on it, and I wish I could. But apparently people are reporting to see something that is called the crawler. That in itself is like...
That name itself is just creepy.
It's just a huge it's like a huge, big, fat nope. So the crawler is known to crawl really low to the floor of the main cell block and follow people.
No, thank you.
So think
Bye.
of like The Ring.
Yeah, no, I hate anything that
Grudge.
crawls. Like, that's just terrifying in general. Is
Just the whole like
a shadowy-
dislocation of the
yes.
arms and legs as they're just creepy crawling, like all jerkily like.
like the jerks of like the nurses from Silent Hill.
Oh my god, yes. They're
No.
like,
No.
Yo, by the way, that Silent Hill house at Haunted Horror Nights, Haunted Horror Nights, that was haunted. Yes, Horror Nights.
Halloween Horror Nights.
Halloween
yes.
Horror Nights. I work there, and I can't even like
Say words.
I can't even say words or even like properly discuss what oh my gosh, Halloween Horror Nights.
Yes, the Silent Hill house at Halloween
I even
Horror Nights.
worked Horror Nights like 1 year, and I can't even say it properly. Oh my god, Universal's like, why? So there was a story where there was a worker that was upstairs, and all the doors below started banging. Now it's to say that these are heavy iron doors. Apparently they all started banging, and when the workers went to the edge of the platform, everything just stopped, and it was so silent you could hear a pin drop. There was also a door in Death Row that on a tour swung shut by itself. It took nearly 6 minutes to open the door back up
Wow.
because it was like someone was holding it shut. In the Ghost Hunters episode, there was an EMF reading done. And for those who don't know what an EMF reader is electromagnetic fields. I actually have an EMF reader right here. Thank you. One day I just got to turn this thing on while we're talking and see if we get anything. Right now it's at 0. There's nothing.
Well, we did
happening.
have one day where it was acting up a bit when we turned it on.
Yeah. There was one day where I turned it on because Kyle thought he heard something on his parents' door. And I went over there. I'm like, holy
Wrap-
shit, it's
wrap-
going
wrapping.
insane. And I realized it. No, I realized it was actually the washer because the washer was going on. So it was
yeah.
picking up the EMF of the washer. And I was like, oh, JK, it's not a ghost. It's the washer. But anyway, so that's the
It's
thing.
our haunted laundry.
It's a haunted laundry. Yo, bitch, do my laundry. We talked about that in the first episode about the laundry
Yes, we
basket. I'm
did.
like, yo, if you're going to haunt this house, you're going to do the laundry. So going back, so in the Ghost Hunters episode, there was actually an EMF reader done. And with EMF, again, it's electronic magnetic field. You have to be careful when doing EMF readings because EMFs can bleed from electronics. They can bleed from the washing machine or the laundry. It can bleed from any other type of electronic stuff. Anything that has phones, anything. So you have to be really careful when doing EMF readings. And when you do an EMF reading, it's always good to do a base to see where EMF fields are and then go from there. So they did their base and everything. And then there was one point in the jail cell where there's nothing in there that can cause any type of like natural EMF readings. So it would go off every once in a while, and it was actually localized to one of the cells. So they sat in the cell, and they just saw it like move. And as they did that, they felt a cold spot every so often.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And then all of a sudden, it just disappeared. Yeah. And then also one other thing, an EVP, which is electronic voice phenomena, was caught where basically you just heard a bunch of whispering, almost like a conversation. And in there, it was like little whispering conversation and then like doors swinging, even though there was nothing.
There was nothing moving.
There was nothing moving, and it was completely silent. This is all like in the actual recording, but like not physically happening at that moment. So, but that's basically what I have on Old St. John's Jail, and it's definitely something that I would like to go back to during the day and get the actual full tour of it.
Yeah.
But when
I'm totally down.
I wanted to. I tried to get like EVPs. Like I tried to do like an EVP thing when I was on the tour, like at night. But because there was just so much talking around, I'm like, I can't sit here and just. So maybe next time I'll bring my EMF reader
and see where you
and just like myself and just see where everything. Yeah, because that would be kind of cool.
Well, can you do tours by yourself, or do you have to have a tour guide?
It's with a group. Ugh. Yeah, I know. I know. So what do you got for me? What you got?
So I, following with St. Augustine, talk about one of my favorite bed and breakfasts.
Yes. I love bed and breakfasts. I had never actually been to one, and I would love to go.
I love them so much because it is like you literally go into someone's house and you're like,
gosh.
all right, the history of this house.
Nice.
So the one I'm going to be talking about today is called St. Francis Inn, and it's actually on the National Register of Historic Places, dating from 1791.
Oh, wow.
So it's the oldest inn in St. Augustine.
Okay.
It was actually, the inn dates from the city's second Spanish colonial period. So its architecture as well does reflect the early residents of the beautifulness of St. Augustine with the nice...
with the Romanesque revival style that we were talking about.
Exactly.
Yep.
So we're going to start by talking about the first owner. His name was Gaspar Garcia. He was the property's first owner and was a military man as well. He was a sergeant in the 3rd Battalion of the Infantry Regiment of Cuba.
Oh.
And he was granted the lot in 1791 by the King of Spain. So shortly after, he built his home there, and in 1802, the property was purchased by another individual, a sea captain by the name of Juan Ruggiers. His family held it until the early years of the American rule in Florida. So he'd been there for quite a while. So about in 1838 was when it became pretty much an inn. So lots of families had lived there, I should say. Lots of families had lived there. A lot of the families that were there basically came from slavery. So we had lots of military people, and then also people when the slavery came to an end by England rule, is when its next owner came, and he was from Barbados.
Okay.
And him and his family lived there. His name was Colonel Thomas Henry Dumet. Or Dumet, yeah.
How do you spell it?
Dummett. Dumet.
Dumet? Maybe. I think that sounds about right. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So he grew up on the Caribbean island of Barbados and retired from Britain's Royal Marines and began a sugar plantation with his wife, Mary. They had 11 children. Only 6 lived to adulthood.
Oh, wow.
So, this lot has a lot of history with...
Oh, yeah, definitely. And what year was this roughly?
This was roughly in 1819.
Yeah, so that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So from there, we had lots of other owners. After Colonel Dumet's death, his daughter Anna, who never married, converted the family home into a lodging establishment and raised her nieces and nephews there. And then it became the Inn, is what we call it now, or the St. Francis Inn, I should say. So it should be noted that the inn was not always called St. Francis Inn. It actually went through 9 different name changes throughout its history.
Oh, wow.
So the first one was called the Tea Hand House. The second was the Hudson House. Then you had the Valencia Annex, which was named after the Valencia Hotel that was located actually right across the street. So it was kind of that little location. You also have the Amity Apartments, the Salt Air Apartments, the Palms, the Graham House, and then you have the Garcia Dumet House. And then not until 1948 that the inn was christened the St. Francis Inn.
Okay.
So that's just a little bit of history about St. Francis Inn. So let's talk about their hauntings.
Yes, please. And can we go?
Yes, because I love this place so much.
Have you stayed there before? Have you stayed there before?
I have not, but every time I've gone, I've driven past it, and I'm just like, oh, I've been so drawn to it. I think because it was the oldest inn in St. Augustine, then I was like, it's got to have tons of ghosts in there.
Oh, God, yes. I want to, oh my gosh, I'm going to go. I want to see how much it is. So continue.
Sorry.
You're good.
So lots of different things have been recorded. One of the ghosts' name is Lily, and this is a story of actually one of the owners. Dumet's daughter actually married this man. His name is William Hardy, Major William Hardy, who lived in the inn with the wife of Colonel Dumet's daughter, where he actually fell in love with one of his servants.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So Major Hardy owned the inn during the middle of the 19th century, and he fell in love with Lily, one of the young black servant girls. She is believed to have been a beautiful slave woman from Barbados as well. Mm-hmm. And they would sneak into rooms of the inn and carry on with their secret love affair.
Oh, fun.
And it wasn't until his uncle, a military officer, caught them while he was married that he basically dismissed the servant and ordered his nephew to never see her again.
Oh, no.
Which drove Major Hardy into major depression to where he actually killed himself.
Oh, no.
And there's been different histories as to how he actually killed himself. A lot of people have recorded that, he hung himself in one of their rooms that they carried their love affair in on.
Yeah.
There's some that have reported that, no, he threw himself from the 3rd floor, balcony sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But it's said that he actually does not haunt that room, but Lily does.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
It is said that she haunts the room longing for her lover. And it's been recorded by people who've actually stayed in the room, called Lily's room, I should say.
Okay.
It's on the 3rd floor. And a lot of people have heard things being thrown around, where they woke up and they found either their bags with all the insides scattered across. But people have reported that when the was thrown. It didn't sound like it fell. It sounded like it had been literally thrown.
Oh my gosh. And you said that was Lily's room?
Lily's room, yes.
Huh. Note to self. Don't stay in Lily's room.
Guests and employees have reported apparitions of her walking through the hotel, the inn itself. Mm-hmm. She's dressed in all white. Most have seen her in the halls. And then she also does not like when certain music is played.
Really?
And it's said that they can be playing music and all of a sudden everything will be turned off when it comes to certain popular songs.
Oh my gosh. It's like, oh my God, is that Rihanna song again? I am going to mute this.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Another report by Lily, or guests who have stayed in Lily's room, have also noticed that like certain bags have been filled with water, but nothing else in the room is wet.
Bags?
Like their cosmetic bags or like their luggage bags.
Yo, that's
know.
not okay.
There was also one day when it was raining, I guess one of the windows was open, and there was someone had sat on the windowsill, but nobody's there, and it was a dry spot, just like someone had been sitting there during the rain.
Oh my gosh.
And they've noticed that it never got wet when the rain was coming in, so they were like, maybe she was sitting there, maybe something. But yeah, it's been reported for that as well.
That sounds cool.
It's also said that when guests have stayed there and were sleeping, a young bride, her and her new husband, had been awoken, and the bride was like she'd been awakened by a very passionate kiss. And the new bride was very surprised to find her husband asleep next to her, but she had been awoken by this kiss. Yeah.
Do they not
ghost? I think it was the soldier lover, I would assume.
Probably.
I would hope, unless Lily swings that way. Nothing wrong about that, but.
I know, but yeah. Oh my gosh, that's creepy. Consent, man.
I know.
Consent.
Lots of reports for sounds of whispering and moans in the room. And then throughout the building, lights and coffee makers going on and off, unassisted radio stations being changed as witnesses watched, locked doors found open, and then showers starting randomly.
It's like, take a hint. Shower.
A lot of things had also been found that when they rearranged the furniture, the pictures, and stuff like that, falling books have been reported because of that.
Oh my gosh.
So a lot of things is it just one ghost? Is it multiple? But they've found most of them have come from Lily and her lover. And another cool fact is that they actually had psychics come in and monitor the house. And one of the psychics reported that Lily and her lover were not reunited in the afterlife.
Really?
So they just longingly search for each other in this inn, which is really, really sad.
Well, what about the wife? Like, do they know if the wife is haunting it too? Kind of like an angry triangle type thing?
I was not able to find information on that, but it is said that the wife, once the husband became kind of ill, she was just like out of the picture, kind of.
Okay.
Like there wasn't any reports on her, which is very sad.
That is sad.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, but still. Also, another report that I actually just found, which is really cool.
Ooh.
It is said that a male guest actually woke up in the middle of the night underneath his bed, trapped.
What?
Yeah. And they actually had to get staff members to help get him out from under the bed.
What?
Yeah, he just reported having strange dreams and woke up and was under his bed trapped.
That's frightening.
It's very scary, but a lot of people, when they reported these things, said that they were never felt threatened or stuff. They just felt like random people just going about their day. It wasn't mean-spirited or anything like that. They just they just constantly had these experiences with these ghosts. So at least the ghosts of the inn are not horrible.
No, and I mean, it's good because I guess they just want to make their presence known. They just want to be like, hey, we're here too. We're people like you, only we're dead. So, but the whole waking up under the bed thing,
Yeah.
that's like, how? I'm wondering if maybe did he sleepwalk?
Well, the thing is this was reported not in Lily's room. It was in a different room. So
Okay.
they think maybe it was from a different ghost of the
That like dragged
inn?
him out of bed and shoved him
Yeah, it was
underneath?
him and his wife were staying at the inn up in a room other than Lily's, where him and his wife fell asleep quickly but had trouble staying asleep. They had strange sensations overcame him suddenly in which he felt like someone was entering his consciousness without that feeling being good or evil. It was
Okay.
just a very neutral
Presence.
conscience. Yeah. So after he left the room to see if a short walk would help, and then he returned to bed only to find that he felt the same feeling. He attempted to allow it to become stronger, and after what he thought was a long time, he shook off the feeling and went for another walk and some coffee. Finally, he came back and was able to fall asleep. However, when he woke up in the morning, he had been under the bed.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if because there is always the possibility that maybe he slept walked and did that, because I remember a time when I was living in Connecticut. I had a bunk bed type deal where it was like a bed on top with a futon on the bottom. And I woke up in the middle of me climbing down the back. So between the wall and the bed itself.
Yeah.
Where I woke up and I'm like literally halfway climbing down.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know why. I apparently.
I mean, it can totally be explained as maybe sleepwalking, or, I mean, it's definitely harder to fall asleep in places you aren't familiar with.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do get those weird feelings and blah, blah, blah. So maybe it was something to that effect that he was just like, I'm just going to blame it on the
Or
ghost.
the ghost just was like, hey, you want to play a prank? I'm going to pull this guy out of bed and I'm going to shove him underneath it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, this inn has gone through 9 different changes of the names.
Yeah.
With multiple owners. So who knows what ghosts can actually linger there. I mean, most have been reported because of Lily and her lover, but
yeah.
it could literally be anything.
That's pretty crazy. Oh my God, we need to go there.
We need to
I was
go.
looking it up, the prices. The prices for like 2 people, it's like $360 some odd, but that's on a weekend though. So
We'll find a time and we'll go and then we'll do EMF readings and we'll EVP everything.
oh my God, we
and
gotta do all those
have
things.
our own experiences.
We will.
Cheers from the grave. Paranormal investigations.
Oh
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh my God.
Monster truck sounds.
What?
I don't know.
Monster demon sounds. Oh my God, no.
But yeah, that's just a little bit from the St. Francis Inn.
That is awesome. We definitely need to go check that
Yes.
out at some point.
And
Because it's only like an hour or so away from us. No, it's like 2 hours.
yeah, it's
like 2
a
hours.
pretty decent drive, but like still, St. Augustine. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stay everywhere. I want to
Do all the things.
do all the things.
Let's do it. We'll do it. So, that was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, hey, Stephanie, where can they find us?
they can find us.
I like that look that you gave me, by the way. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Only because I didn't actually hear what you said, and then I was like, wait, she just said, where can they find us? They can find us at www.cheersfromthegrave.com, on Twitter at cheersfromgrave, on Instagram at cheersfromthegrave, and on Facebook at Cheers from the Grave.
It's kind of easy.
It's very easy, except for that Twitter one.
Yeah. And then we also have a Patreon account, which is Cheers from the Grave. All that information can be found on our website, cheersfromthegrave.com, under contact. If you want to become a Patreon donor, we have 2 tiers, a $2 and a $5 tier, both of which have different types of perks.
Also, if you have any personal stories
Yes.
or things that you would like to share with us and our listeners, you can email us at cheersfromthegrave@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And we would love to have your stories.
Our inbox is looking kind of sad.
I mean, we got some. which
Yeah.
is nice. But we
There-
want to do enough to do an episode of Strictly You Guys. So
Yeah.
please send us what you have.
I am currently sitting on 2 emails right now that we have yet to actually read yet. One from Sebastian in Colombia, and then there's another one named Jeff, who's one of our listeners. But I'm saving those because I want to do an episode. Like, I want to do an episode where it's like just let's just do you guys, and we can't do that if we don't have enough content. So please, 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 please send us your paranormal. It doesn't even have to be paranormal. It can be like true crime. It can be conspiracy theory. It can be whatever the heck you want to talk
Honestly,
about.
like, we want to hear from you.
Who is
so.
that guy walking around? Is he like?
He was jogging, and then the car came, so he was waiting to cross the street. Anyway, yes, we would love to hear stuff from you. It does not have to be strictly paranormal or demons or possessions. We will take true crime. So honestly,
Or conspiracy.
Please, conspiracy theories are my favorite. Please send me your favorite conspiracy theory.
Yeah, Stephanie is a huge conspiracy theory. Maybe we should do a conspiracy theory episode where you can talk about conspiracy
the
theory.
Denver airport. I would be so over that. Oh,
The what?
the Denver airport.
Oh my God, I have family that live in Colorado, so I fly into that airport all the time, and I just absolutely love it. Oh my gosh. Okay. But anyway, back on topic. That before your text message decided to set off my EMF reader, Patreon. We just recently received actual like cards because so if you join us at the $5 tier, you will get an actual physical letter in the mail.
Yeah.
Because that is still a thing. Physical letters.
And we love sending letters in the mail
Yes.
because we are like 1,000 years old.
We are ancient. So yeah, if you join us at the $5 tier, you'll get a handwritten letter. Well, not handwritten. It's more like it's pre-written, but
We signed it.
we signed it. We physically signed it, and we physically touched it. Like that means anything to anybody. $2 tier, you'll get a shout out, and you'll also get a little personal message. I'll send you guys a message saying, "Hey, thank you," all this other stuff. And there's a bunch of other perks. We do have that one person that joined us at the $2 tier, and then we actually have to start getting stuff on there to make it worth your while. So,
Yes.
But yeah, so that's that.
And also, if there's some sort of story that you would like us to cover, go ahead and send that to us.
Yeah,
too.
email us.
We'd love to have your input. We'd love to have what you want to hear more about, so we can go ahead and get that underway.
Yeah, please. You can do this on Facebook. You can message us on Facebook. You can email us, Twitter. Slide into the DMs of our Instagram or Twitter or whatever, and just say, "Hey, this is a story that I think you guys should cover." Please.
Swipe right on that spooky stuff.
Yeah, we will take all the suggestions because, I'm not saying it does this hard, but sometimes it can be like, "Oh my God, what are we going to talk about this next episode? Because I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Oh my God. So please help us out with that. Yes. So anyway, I just wanted to give a little bit of a quick shout out to my third shifters over at work. They sometimes...
What's up, third shifters?
Third shifters! They sometimes listen to our podcast overnight while they're at work. Because for those that know me, I do work at Universal Studios, and I work in a warehouse. And...
That you a warehouse crew.
I'm a warehouse crew. I just work in the office. I don't actually I don't actually pick the products, but we do have a third shift that delivers everything. And I just wanted to say a quick shout out to them, especially to Joey, who's my supervisor, who used to be my supervisor on first shift, and now he's over on third shift, and he left us forever, and it made me sad.
Aw.
Yeah, Joey's awesome, and he makes me sad that he's gone, but it's okay. And then Will's also there too, William. He's also another supervisor. So they all tend to listen while they're doing walkthroughs. So, hey guys.
Hi, y'all.
I miss you. All right. So that's that. Yeah. So cool.
My name is Stephanie.
And I'm Erica.
And this is
Cheers from the grave.